कुंज विहारी राधा माधव गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे राम कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौरा हरि बोल जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा श्रील प्रभुपदा पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताई की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। श्रीनिवास पद्मावत वेंकटेश्वर बालाजी की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं उदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Let's take one verse from Bhagavatam. तस्यैव हेतो प्रयतेत कोविदो न लभ्यते यद्भ्रमतामुपर्यदः तल्लभ्यते दुःखवधन्यतः सुखम् कालेन सर्वत्र गभीररंहसा। Three devotees. तस्यैव हेतो प्रयतेत कोविदो न लभ्यते यद्भ्रमतामुपर्यदः तल्लभ्यते दुःखवदन्यतः सुखम् कालेन सर्वत्र गभीररंहसा तस्यैव हेतोः प्रयतेत कोविदो न लभ्यते यद्भ्रमताम् उपर्यदः तल्लभ्यते दुःखवदन्यतः सुखम् कालेन सर्वत्र गभीररंहसा तस्यैव हेतोः प्रयतेत कोविदो तल्लभ्यते यद्भ्रमतामुपर्यदः तल्लभ्यते दुःखवदन्यतः सुखम् कालेन सर्वत्र गभीररंहसा. Prabhupada ki. Persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet Brahmaloka down to the lowest planet Patala. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in the course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them. So there are two types of endeavors explained here. One is endeavor for the spiritual purpose, in the first line. Second one talks about endeavor for the sense gratification purpose. So those who are intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor for the spiritual purpose, he says. So, whatever, went off, huh? Okay. You see, we can do 4 types of work in this world. Huh? So most of the living entities are absorbed in the first one, isn't it? Working selfishly for my food, my home, my job, my wife, my family, and my sense gratification. Prabhupada says, most of the living entities, they accumulate goods and people to cater to the demands of their own senses. Like for example, you ask a boy, any boy going to college, why do you go to college? He says, I want a degree. Why do you want a degree? I want money. Why do you want money? So I can enjoy life, eat, drink, and be merry. Most people are like that, isn't it? So this is called as tamagudi consciousness. Tamaguni means in mode of ignorance, one does not know anything beyond what the animals do. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. That is the first platform. Selfishly for one's own sense gratification. One maintains an enterprise purpose is to make money and feed one's own senses. One maintains a wife so that she will give me sense gratification. And then one wants children so that I can pamper myself even more. In this way, then one expands a family of wife, children, relatives, estate, and then goods and commodities. And then these are all the paraphernalia for gratifying one's own senses. And most people think this is success in life. And then one day when a person dies, he leaves behind all these things and goes, and he doesn't know where he's going. Correct, no? And then the second one, working selflessly for others on a middle platform, like Mother Teresa, for example. She saw the lepers in the streets of Calcutta. She felt pity, and then she picked up one or two and started. Eventually, 5 or 10, and 50 or 100, and then some more people came giving her helping hand. And her sacrifice and dedication. Or there are also freedom fighters, for the sake of the nation, whether it is our Bose, Subhash Chandra Bose, or Bhagat Singh, Gandhi, or people like that. Those who laid down even their life also sometimes for the sake of the nation, they are glorified. So in one of the purports, Prabhupada says there is a concentrated sense gratification, there is an extended sense gratification, he says. So the concentrated sense gratification means me and my body, that's all. Some people don't care for wife, they don't care for children also. They don't care about anybody. There are such low-class fools. They drink liquor and lie down outside the arak shop, liquor shop, and the wife goes with the daughter crying, and she puts him in a rickshaw and brings him home. Such a irresponsible fellow. He doesn't do job. He lives on wife's dowry, and he's drinking, smoking, and the wife has to do some tailoring or some job and make money and get her daughter married. So such people are such low-class fellows, selfish fellows. So they don't even care for wife and children also. That is considered very, very low class. Lesser than animals. Even animals do the dharma also, at least. Correct, no? You will see that animals, like cow will eat grass, but she will never eat flesh. Tiger will eat flesh, but never will eat grass. They follow their dharma properly. Yeah. I heard that the lion, in several years, the lion will not unite with the lioness. They say once in several years. It will only unite for the purpose of begetting a child. After that, it doesn't unnecessarily unite. So, similarly, you will see bulls and cows, that certain season they make sounds. And then they have to unite in those season and produce children, otherwise not. So, even animals follow their dharma. Like this snake, what do you call as Ajgar? It has 3 policies, you know that? One policy is that it will just lie down near mountain with open mouth. Only whenever any food comes on its own, it will accept. It doesn't even go actively searching for any food. That is one of its policies. Another one is, if a food has come, it will eat to its satisfaction. But if another creature, somebody comes, it will not catch and keep it for tomorrow. But today's prasad is over, done. It will never store for tomorrow. That's another policy it follows. It doesn't actively chase after the prey. It doesn't store for tomorrow also. It doesn't store. Then there is one more thing which I told you, which is actually the because this is coming in the 11th canto, the Avadut Brahman is talking about this Ajgar Vritti. He talks about that. It doesn't eat more than what it needs. Like, as soon as the hunger is pacified, it will never overeat. Like human beings tend to overeat. Correct, no? Doesn't overeat. So you can see that those people who are on the first platform, working selfishly for one's own sense gratification, these people tend to be extravagant in spending, extravagant in eating, extravagant in sex life, extravagant in everything. They're lesser than animals. So, but one goes to the second platform, selflessly, that appears to be great, but that is also called extended sense gratification. Why? Because, like for example, there are men who will work for their blood relatives. You have seen that? And they will say that, like recently I came to know one fellow, he he has made a house, something like 50 crores worth house for his son, another 100 crores worth for another son, like that. Very huge estates. So they make sure that for my son, my daughter, estates are given and business is set up, and because they are. And then there are people who will extend the same to their cousins also, cousins, relatives, family members. Their own, they will have one particular surname, and in that surname, they will make everything for them. You've seen that, no? Because anybody, that surname, they are very immediately antenna will be on. Because this is our surname, our family. So it looks like he is selfless, but he's selfless within a certain boundary, like that. Then there are people who may extend their selflessness to their own people who speak their language. Like, for example, I am from Tamil Nadu, they will say Tamil Sangha, they will make. There are people who make Telugu Sangha and Maharashtrian Sangha, correct, no? They make like that. If you are a part of that Sangha only, they'll give you the benefit, otherwise not. Correct, no? They identify with the language. Yeah. Then there are people who identify with their own religion, Hindu. We will only do good for Hindu only, not for anybody else. Or we will do only for the Christians, or we will do only for the Muslims, or we will do only for the Jains. They will do like that. They will not do anything for others, other living entities, or for their own country only. So because their selflessness, apparent selflessness is connected to their bodily identification. That is why it is also called as extended sense gratification. So either concentrated sense gratification or extended sense gratification. Nationalism. Why it is called sense gratification? You can see that one country harms the other country, correct, no? You can see that that's due to their identification with the body. When you go to the spiritual platform, you cannot injure any living entity at all. Ahimsa, we follow, no? Ahimsa. Because everybody has the right to live. Like there was a man lying under a banyan tree. It was a very hot, sunny day. It was a large banyan tree. So one dog was feeling too hot in the sun. So dog also wanted to come and take some advantage of the shade of the tree. So as soon as the dog came, the man picked up a stone to hit the dog. The banyan tree said, "Hey, I am giving you shelter. I am also giving shelter to dog. Why do you want to drive away the dog? Why can't the dog also relax in the shade?" So God is giving provisions for everybody. But some fellows think, no, we will take provision and then drive out others. That kind of mentality, selfish mentality. So whether it is concentrated or extended, as soon as there is selfishness, you will be injurious to others, surely. But this selfishness, you can put a full stop by two things. One is working on oneself by self-discipline. And working for Krishna and benefiting all jivas is even more higher than this also. Now, what is that working on oneself? Working on oneself means what Krishna teaches in the second chapter, 56 to 72. It is called a Sthita Prajna, correct, no? So, Sthita Prajna actually works on oneself. Like Arjuna asked this question, Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava siddhi kim prabhasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. Four questions he asked. Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha. What are the symptoms of a self-managed person? Or self-realized person? Or self-controlled person? What are the symptoms? And what is his language? How does he speak? Siddhi, how is his intelligence? Isn't it? How does he sit? How does he walk? How does he speak? And what are his symptoms? Four things he asked. So how does he speak means when people are angry towards him, how does he respond? When people affectionately speak to him, how does he respond? When people are neutral to him, how does he respond? When people don't care about him, how does he respond? What is his speech? And how does he sit means how is he situated in this world of senses and sense objects? Is he agitated by the opposite sex while moving in this world and doing his activities? Because everybody has to socially interact with the world around. You can't go to Himalayas and sit in a cave. So if you are a student, you have to academically connect with so many others in the college. If you are a professional, you have to deal with people in the project. So you can get two kind of provocations. One is lusty provocation. Another one is angry provocation, isn't it? Somebody insults you, you can become angry. Somebody lustily proposing to you, you can fall down with opposite sex. And how does he deal with the world of such provocations when he's moving about? And so that is a question of situated. How is situated? So, Sitaprajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sitadhi kim prabhasheta kim asita and brajeta kim. So, how is he situated? And brajeta means, is he keeping himself aloof from this world completely? Or is he moving about in this world? Uh, is he living in Himalayas so that he can be aloof from all provocations? Or is he moving about in Pune city? Isn't it? He's going around, living in the heart of the city, surrounded by all living entities and the world around. Is it not true? So, very good question he asked. So, first answer Krishna gave Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, what he said. Prajahat yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmanje vatmanat tushtasthita prajnastadocchate. He says that Prajahat yada kaman. He has abandoned all the sense gratificatory desires. He has given them up. So he has replaced his sense gratificatory desires he substituted them with spiritual desires. So our purpose of our voice center is that only. You drive out all the impure desires and replace them with positive spiritual desires. So, Atmanyeva Atmana Tushta. He delights in spiritual activities. So, today morning in the Japa talk, I was telling you the 4 pillars of, these are the 4 pillars of spiritual platform. What is the first I was telling you, Satsanga. The purpose of the Satsanga, when you come in Satsanga means you are given an opportunity to attain the innermost desire of the soul, which is the association of the Lord in the spiritual world. So that is the route the soul wants to take, but the soul is surrounded by the mind and the body, which oftentimes pushes us to act instinctively, allured by the material pleasures. So we have 2 type of troubles. One trouble is in our own mind only. Another trouble is the bad association outside. Correct, no? So we have inner enemy, outer enemy. Inner enemy is impure desires in the mind. And outer enemy is the bad friends. So satsanga means avoiding the outer enemies. And then replacing the outer enemies by outer friends who are other devotees, who are also like-minded, who all want to go back to Godhead. So that is satsanga. Satsanga means not just good friends, but also superiors, mentors, and gurus, and those who are very powerfully spiritually situated, who have the power to give us the spiritual strength and give us the conviction and uplift us. So that is satsanga. When you go to the satsanga, satsu, Prabhupada says, satsu means those people who are faithfully following the word of God from the scriptures. So living in the company of those superiors and those peers, and by that satsanga, what happens? They actually lead us in the right direction to go back to Godhead and not get deviated by our own instinctive pullings and pushings inside or outside. Correct, no? So, and while living in such a satsanga, what do we do in the satsanga? We do sadhana. Swadhyay we do, yeah. So Swadhyay is actually study of the Vedic literature, like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. These are the main literatures. So what happens when you study the Swadhyay, when you do that? Of course you get knowledge, but I told one very important word. Anybody remembers that? See, there is an outer connection, there is an inner connection. Outer awareness, inner awareness. Outer awareness is what? You know about the outer awareness about the body and the mind. That is outer awareness. And the world around. My body, my mind, and the world around. This is outer awareness. Which means, that you can clearly see that I have some pushes, pullings in my body and mind. Like, for example, I was telling you, you want to pass urine, you want to pass stool. These are pushings. As soon as there is some kind of sensation that I want to pass urine, you run to the bathroom. And similarly, there's a thirst, there's hunger. So these are all pushings in the body. Similarly, in the mind, there are desires, and the desires can turn into greed. Correct, no? Mm. Similarly, there are desires that can turn into lust. Correct, no? Mm. Or sometimes there is a desire for honor and respect. People don't give it. It can turn into anger. Correct, no? So the desire can take the three shapes of lust, anger, greed. It can come. And when it goes out of limits, then it becomes like a spark of fire turning into huge fire accident. Correct, no? It can happen like that. So these are observable phenomenon in all living entities, in your body and mind. Everybody can observe it, and everybody is trying to pacify them. How, when you're thirsty, you drink water. When you're hungry, you put food. When you feel sensation of urine, stool, you go to the bathroom and release them from the body and take a bath. Yeah? Then you become pacified. When the urges come, the hare is kudu, 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 kudu inside, and then you pacify them. Correct? No? Similarly, when the desires come, uh, some people have limited desire, and when the desire is pacified, they become easily satisfied. You know, somebody, you give them little khichdi, somebody says, "Oh, thank you, thank you, Prabhu." You give a big dormitory in one corner, you say, tell them you can lie down here. They go to sleep in 5 minutes. They say, "Thank you." And there are other people who have more need. Correct, no? They will say, "What is this? You know, I thought you'll give me pulao, kadi, rasamali, puran poli, everything." You're giving me just khichdi, that's all. They have more need. For some people, if paneer is not there in the sabji, it's useless sabji. Isn't it? For some people, if you don't give junk food, they will say, "Oh, how can you live your life without junk food?" Isn't it? So some people eat this French fries, they eat this all kinds of Manchurian, they eat pastries, correct, no? Without that, the food is incomplete for them. That means the demand is more. Is it not true? The tongue's demand is too much. Correct, no? Too much demand of the tongue. Yeah. Similarly, for somebody, he is controlling his senses in such a way that although lusty desires are there in everybody, in the conditioned stage, but they know that, there is a Maryada I have to follow. Call everybody a woman as Mataji. But we are surrounded by the world where people dress scantily and men, women are interacting very intimately. So there are agitations in the mind which will come, but people remain within limits. Then at a certain time you get married properly, and then you are within the marriage limits. You stick to that principle, correct? No? Then you are peaceful. Otherwise, some fellows are such dogs that they cannot be satisfied with one wife. They go to dozens of women and they make approaches and advances with respect to many women. And in some places, the woman is also weak, man is also weak. They both fall down also many times, and different people like that. And some people get slaps also, isn't it? Because of uncontrolled lust. Yeah. And similarly, there's uncontrolled anger. People have lost jobs because of anger. People have been beaten up because of anger also. Uncontrolled anger like that. So these are outer urges which are observable, which many people know about. Even conditioned souls are watching it many times. Helplessly, they are being conducted by them. But one who is a Siddha Prajna, he can actually not only he has outer awareness, he develops inner awareness. That's what I was telling you. Swadhyaya should actually lead to eventually to inner awareness. Because many things about your inner world you cannot know on your own unless you hear from Guru Parampara. One of the first things Krishna taught about the inner world is you are not the body, you are spirit soul. That's the very first thing. And he reveals the truth in 2.13 to Arjuna. And the soul is Nainam Chintanti Shastrani, Nainam Tahati Pavakaha. He says the soul cannot be cut by a scissor, it cannot be burned by fire, it can be moistened by water, it can be dried by air. The soul doesn't die at the time of death. It survives. Soul goes from one body to another, surrounded by the mind, which is having some desires. The soul goes to the next body to give shape to those desires. Correct, no? So these kind of truths, Utkramantam, Satambapi, Bunjananba, Gunanvitam, Vimudha, Nanu Pashyanti Jnana Chakshusha. There are two types of people, Vimudha and Jnana Chakshush. Vimudha people don't know about the soul and body difference. And Jnana Chakshush clearly knows how the soul has entered the body, conducting the body and leaves the body. One who can understand these things is called Jnana Chakshush. And that Jnana Chakshush also knows Shariram Yadavapnoti Yachapyutkramati Ishwaraha Grihitvaitani Samyati Vayu Gandha Nivashayat. Such Jnana Chakshush sees that at the time of death the soul comes out of the body with the mind carrying karma vasanas, sugandha vasanas, durgandha vasanas, exactly like wind carrying aromas. Like that it carries. And to give shape to those good and bad desires, the soul needs one more material body. Huh? That's why he's taking body. So the material bodies are a precipitate of the desires in the mind. In a lab, you have the centrifuge. You know centrifuge? When you rotate like this, even a transparent liquid, it releases, some white, thick, powder or something at the bottom of the tube. You have seen that? Initially, you didn't see it, but when you put it in a centrifugal mechanism, it settles at the bottom. That means that white powder, it was there in the liquid, but it wasn't observable at one time. Similarly, the subtle body and the mind is called as body of desires. And the desires desires stored in the mind, they precipitate out as gross body. Why? Because the gross body is an extension of subtle body to give shape to the desires stored in the gross body. Correct or not? Like for example, you see a boy coming in a moped or a bike, Enfield. One of my friends, he got this Enfield bike, in those days. What is it? Yamaha, why is it? Royal Enfield, yeah. He was coming. I know that how he got it because he had the desire. Correct? Now, he always used to dream about it. I want you would say that I'm going to ask my papa, I want it, and one day it came out. That desire manifested outside, precipitated out. Correct? Now, it's by. Correct? Now? So you will see that everybody what they are trying to enjoy now is a precipitate of their own desire stored in the mind. Correct? No? But the soul is aloof from both the body and mind. Yes, he has another inner world which is unknown to the common people. So Krishna says that the soul needs the gross body machine, the bodily machine, only if he has some desires stored in the mind. If the mind becomes washed off all the material desires and it becomes replaced with spiritual desires, the soul doesn't need any more material body. Correct? Now, metal bodies are needed to give shape to metal desires. Correct? No? That's why we say Anya Abhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi. We say, no? So when Anya Abhilashita Shunyam it becomes, then you don't need a metal body. You need only spiritual body. So therefore, Krishna says that the soul, the third point is working on oneself by self-discipline means what? There are a lot of verses in Gita on the third point. Krishna talks about Thani Sarvani Samyamya Yukta Asita Matparaha Vashehi Yasyendriyani Tasya Prajna Pratishtita Yada Samharate Chayam Kurmongani Vasarvashaha Indriyani Indriyartebhyas Tasya Prajna Pratishtita Ragadesha Vimuktaistu Vishayan Indriyascharan Atmavashair Vidheyatma Prasadamadi gacchati. So all these verses talk about restraining the mind and senses from going in the wrong direction. They all are instinctive direction. They all are talking about it. So by restraining the mind and senses to only accept legitimate pleasures and abandoning illegitimate pleasures, which are all clearly mentioned. Like, Shastras don't say, no, don't pass stool, don't pass urine, they don't say. You can surely go to bathroom, no problem. Isn't it? But they say, don't do illicit sex. Don't eat meat. Don't drink wine and cigarette and everything. Don't do gambling. That is abandoned. That is to be abandoned. Because that is going to cause the degradation of the soul. Correct? No? So those have to be, illegitimate things should be abandoned. So then after talking about the soul, Krishna is also talking about the Ishwar. He says, Ishwara sarvabhutanam hridadeshe Arjuna tishtati. Ramayan sarvabhutani yantrarudani maya. He says. And he also says there are two kshetrajñas. In the 13th chapter he says. One kshetrajña is you, another kshetrajña is Krishna. He says. What is the difference between the two kshetrajñas? One kshetrajña is only in his own body, whereas other kshetrajña is in all the bodies. Kshetrajñam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. In all the bodies. So anybody who want to increase one's inner awareness, should study the Gita and understand, okay, I am the soul and Krishna is the Lord. And there is a sambandha between the two also. And the Lord says in 15.15 Bhagavad Gita that I give the knowledge, remembrance and forgetfulness. Correct? No? Depending on how much you are endeavoring for that inner world, inner awareness, then you can awaken that sambandha between you and me. There's a loving relationship. Why? 15.7, what is the verse? Mamaivamsho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatanaha manashashtani indriyani prakritistani karshati. First line says, you and me, we have a sambandha. You are my amsha only. Just like the children feel attachment to mother and father because their body is a part and parcel of the parent's body. Correct, no? The body that you carry, it has come from your mother's womb. Correct, no? And the semen which carried the soul was given by father to the mother. Correct, no? So you have a sambandha with both of them. So therefore we feel bodily identification. Similarly, the soul is Krishna's part and parcel. Naturally, the soul has to identify with Krishna. Uh, that, oh, he is my father, he is my mother. That's what he says, Aham Bija Pradha Pita. Correct, no? So he says that I have all the jivas have sambandha with me. Not only you or me, not only Krishna doesn't say all the Indians have sambandha with me. He doesn't say that. He says, Sarvayo Nishukaunteya Murtaya Sambhavantiyaha Tasam Brahma Mahat Yonir Aham Bija Pradha Pita. Sarva Yonish, not only humans, he says even animals, birds, aquatics, reptiles, everybody, all jivas, that means everybody is Krishna's part and parcel. That is the right method of seeing, correct? No? That is how, once you understand this Bhagavad Gita as it is, Prabhupada's purports and everything, you can look at the world with eye of love and eye of compassion. It's very much possible. Because the inner world that the Gita explains and the way Prabhupada has given purports, it makes things so crystal clear. It's like switching on a light in a dark room. Everything becomes crystal clear. So you can see, therefore, the conclusion of understanding of the Gita is love God, love all. Correct, no? One can come to that point. That is the real inner world understanding. I am just talking about knowledge because Swadhyaya gives you knowledge. Correct, no? And then in order to realize that knowledge, what you have to do? Sadhana. Therefore, we do the chanting of the holy name. The chanting of the holy name is actually a sincere prayer to the Lord. So we do in sadhana includes nama japam. We also do vandanam, offering prayers to the Lord, like aratis and all we do. Then we also do puja for the Lord, which is worship of the Lord, offering obeisances to the Lord. And all these different things are prescribed in the scriptures to practically express our connection to the Lord, our devotion to the Lord in a very, very practical way. Just like, for example, in a home, husband, wife, children, how do they practically express the affection? And when the husband comes back from the office in the night, everybody takes dinner together. Correct, no? The Prabhupada asked, do you eat your food in dinner or you exchange love with the family? The answer is both. Correct, no? Not that, now I'm eating food, I won't talk to anybody. Do you say that in the home? That is the time for everybody to connect with each other. And also affection is expressed by offering different types of food. Mother also makes nice items and gives, correct, no? So you can see that in the same manner, these activities which we do, they are not bereft of love. Sometimes they may become bereft of love as an empty ritual because of our own ignorance. But if our inner awareness is properly awakened, every activity you do in relation to Krishna is an expression of your affection and devotion to the Lord and the jivas also. And when it is carrying that affection and devotion, it nourishes you, nourishes others also. So that is why the sadhana is supposed to wake up the sleeping soul and nourish the sleeping soul. It may be a little painful in the beginning because of our own ignorance. Like a mother is pinching a sleeping child. Better get up. He cries, and then she puts sweet rice in the mouth. After eating it, now he's very happy. No more crying. Then he is telling me, give me the whole water, I'll take care. Isn't it? Similarly, the chanting initially is very painful. Most boys will not increase their chanting because again and again soul want to sleep. You wake up. Getting the boys for mantra meditation circle is not very easy, isn't it? Yeah. Therefore, you have to carry different types of prasadam. You carry Mysore Pak, you carry Badushay, you carry, Son Papdi, you carry Rasagulla. If you only carry cookie, cookie will put them to sleep. So, Because just as a mother is feeding sweet rice to a sleeping child, how will the child get up unless there is rabadi or sweet rice or something, correct? No? So, therefore, and once the child understands the pinch mother gave was for a good purpose, she want to nourish me, then the child becomes convinced. Very good. Mother, you can pinch me any number of times, no problem. Then the chanting becomes, I'm 16 pinches, no problem. You accept. Huh? So we know that, it's like an injection that the doctor gives to cure our viral fever or something, correct? No? So initially it's painful, but eventually it becomes relishable. So the Nam Japam and all the other aratis, everything, they're all meant for, but the inner awareness you studied in scripture will become a tangible, practical reality. It will become very substantial by performance of these practical activities. Uh, and fourth thing I told you is the seva. What is seva? Seva is actually the when the devotee of the Lord uses kaya, vacha, manasa, body, mind, and words in serving the living entities in alignment with Krishna's will. Uh, Actually, and it should be done compassionately. Like we are giving out the books, giving out prasad, giving out the holy name by Harinam Sankirtan. So we are doing vinyoga. Vinyoga means distributing. This distributing the holy name in the morning, Harinam Sankirtan, is like giving out free flight tickets to the living entities back home, back to Vaikuntha. It's like throwing the flight tickets. Take it, take it. Here is Vaikuntha ticket. Everybody take it. Because if they take it and protect it properly, at the time of death, they can show the ticket and go back to Godhead. So, similarly, distributing prasadam. The Prabhupada was very, very happy to see the prasadam being distributed because the living entities are very fond of food. Because food is called Anna Brahma. So, but the Anna Brahma, when it is offered by a devotee with love for the Lord and distributed, that has the potency to awaken love in the heart of the jiva who eats it also. Correct? No? Similarly, the holy books, because the holy books are going to give the inner world to the jivas who are getting it. Correct? No? Because right now all the jivas know which world? Only outer world. They have only outer awareness. Outer awareness is body and mind. But they will get inner awareness about the soul and the Lord and the spiritual world and the relationship with the Lord, the relationship with other living entities. A very beautiful world, which is world of love, will be revealed to the jiva when he gets a copy of the book. When they read the book and they get the awareness comes, and then the awareness becomes a tangible reality when they perform the sadhana. Correct? No? So the Swadhyaya and sadhana put together, it brings the real nature of the soul out, like that. So, in this way, the seva which is performed, it's a voluntary, selfless service rendered with body, mind, and soul, keeping Lord in the heart and Guru's instruction above the head, uh, and reaching out to the conditioned souls who are suffering with the intention to awaken love in their hearts. That's the meaning of service, which is done affectionately. And we also do two types of service. One service for the jivas we do, ordinary jivas. Another service for the Vaishnavas. We call it the Vaishnava Seva. And Vaishnava Seva is why is it different from the service to common living entities. The Vaishnava Seva, for example, you serve those who are seniors, who are superiors. By that service, it is a Chan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punyatirtha Nishevana. That verse says that Shushusho Shaddadanas Vasudeva Katharuchi. So you serve your seniors primarily first by hearing from them. Like Arjuna, Shishyasthaham, he said, he agreed to listen to Krishna. And he was ready to keep his mouth shut. Initially, he opened the mouth too much in the first chapter. After that, look at the difference between the mouth and the ear. The mouth, Krishna has made it in such a way that it can open, it can close. Whereas ear, it can only be open. That should tell us something. What is that? That means better you listen. And when you have to keep your mouth shut, better keep it shut. Therefore, he has given the shutting facility. Correct? No? Initially, Arjuna spoke too much and Krishna kept quiet. And then when Arjuna told Krishna to speak, then Arjuna kept quiet. And then he listened. Because the wisdom will flow from higher to lower level. And then he got it. And then he got enlightened. Subsequently like that. So, in this way, what was he saying before this point?
Benefiting others, seva.
Vaishnava Seva I was telling. Chan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirthani Shevana. That means when you serve senior, superior souls, your Katha Ruchi is increased. Vasudeva Katha Ruchi. The taste for hearing about spiritual subject matter becomes increased, which is a very great wealth it is. See, attending class is not the same as attending class with taste. Is it the same or is it different? Big difference. It's like earth and sky difference. Like, going out on Harinam, somebody says, Prabhuji, why are you going? Prabhuji, you are supposed to go 2 days a week. 2 half-an-hours. Radheshyam has made a policy in the temple, somebody says. So, supposed to go is not same as I want to go. Correct, no? So, when we develop, both take in and give out. Both. Like you have a glass, you pour milk. When the glass is overflowing, it is filling the glass and overflowing. Similarly, when the Krishna Katha, when it overflows from our heart, then we are speaking with eagerness and enthusiasm. Same manner with hearing also. So how many of you would like to increase that hearing taste? Yeah, here is the secret. Vaishnava Seva, when it is done for the superiors, one of the ways to serve superiors is to listen, hear. Correct, no? Now, hear the classes. Another thing is to ask specific questions and take specific instructions. And then not just take instruction, but also follow them in the life. Correct, no? That is another way of serving also. When you hear the class, you get general instructions. When you ask specific questions, you get personal instructions. Correct, no? Arjuna got general instruction or personal instruction? Personal he got also, because he asked Krishna many questions and he got answers. Krishna clearly told him what is to be done. Correct, no? And another way of serving is serving the body of a Vaishnava. For example, you are transporting a Maharaj, some devotee in the car. You are going out in the market and purchasing something and giving, or booking a flight ticket, or some Mataji is cooking some prasad for the journey or something. So in this way, serving the body of a Vaishnava is also one type of service, it is said. And or somebody is donating some money, for the service. Like sometimes we go to certain homes, we do a program, and after the program we go back. Although they are crorpatis, they don't know that they have to give some donation. See, you are a crorepati, they just, one wife was telling, Swamiji is going back, give something. So he gave one banana, take one banana. So for myself, I enjoy 1 crore rupees and then you take one banana and go, that's all. Of course, I don't need any money, but your money is not for me, it's for Krishna's service. It is relationship between you and Krishna. And the sadhus who come to your home, they are actually like a transparent glass. Through them you serve Krishna. So by serving Krishna, then your money becomes purified. That's the way you can serve. You are a crorepati. When you have a lot of money, then you should use it in Lord's service. Is it not true? So by that your money becomes sanctified. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is an example given. Those homes where sadhus don't put their feet, they are like the sandalwood tree where snakes live. That's the example given. Because the sandalwood tree is cool and the snake comes and lives there because it finds it very comfortable. Because the snake's body is extremely hot. It's like boiling hot. So it wraps it around the sandalwood. And this is a very fitting example because those householders who are crorepati's, who have a lot of money, they are compared to envious householders. Therefore, snake example is given. Thus, a snake's body is hot. They are burning with envy still for more money. In Lakpati want to become crorepati. Crorepati want to become Arapati, Karapati. So therefore, they are compared to snakes. And the home, sandalwood tree represents luxurious home, comfort and facilities. So they are living in a comfortable house selfishly for themselves, but they don't serve God. Correct, no? Because of lack of knowledge. Correct, no? Therefore, the Shastras are very frank and honest about these things. But when one serves God, serves the sadhus, either by offering some commodity, something, or, like one fellow had 6 bungalows in one city, 6 bungalows. And one bungalow he gave for devotees to use. He said, you can use for your youth preaching, 5 bungalows are enough for me. So, yeah, I have left them on rent. And later on, while talking, devotees were using it for 3-4 years. And while talking to them, he said he had given it for rent to somebody, and that fellow was trying to usurp that place. Some people do that, no? You live on rent, and then after some years they try to hold that place. They don't leave easily. So he said, बड़ा झंझट है, आप लोग अच्छे हैं, हरे कृष्ण आपको दे देता हूँ, अच्छा काम होगा इधर. So he said, you keep it, and later on when my son gets married, then we will need that bungalow. That time they will be living in that house till then. So he gave it for 4 or 5 years for devotees to use. So sometimes people give like that liberally. Otherwise, it's going to be just locked and kept. And there are people who lock and keep also. Correct, no? किसी को नहीं देना, क्या झंझट, problem हो जाएगा. They will say like that. So the idea is, in this way one can serve by hearing the general class and instructions, taking specific instructions, serve the body of the Vaishnava, offer a donation, and also support a Vaishnava's activities, like sponsoring the book distribution, or sometimes cooking and feeding prasad to the people, organizing a program in the house. Actually, many grihasthas have been organizing many programs in their homes, and very voluntarily they would invite either brahmacharis or other senior grihasthas to come and give class in their home. But now there are a lot of people who have developed fear nowadays to hold a program in their house. They say, Prabhuji, once in a blue moon you want a program in our house, it's all right. We can open the door. Once in a year, counseling meeting, all right, no problem. But weekly program, oh Lord, they are afraid. Because who will cook prasad? And you lose the privacy one full evening. The doors have to be opened. See, that is how, if you open the door to the program and cook and feed prasad, then only you make spiritual progress. Otherwise, how will purification take place? If you simply keep your home for sense gratification, we are not going to make any progress. The home should be, if you open the home, people come and attend the program, they take prasad, you work hard to cook prasad and feed prasad to Vaishnavas. One should delight in serving Vaishnavas. So, and also by that, many Vaishnavas also come and they bless the home also. They bless the home becomes sanctified. Otherwise, if we make an altar at home and the Lord doesn't get any festivals, he doesn't get any Vaishnavas to come and glorify through kirtan, through pravachan, then it becomes as a ritualistic deity worship. You have just deities there, but you don't attend to them so well. Correct, no? So these are all Vaishnava seva. So serving the Vaishnavas, you can serve equal Vaishnavas, you can serve junior Vaishnavas also. How do you serve the junior Vaishnavas? By helping them. They need some help, they need somebody desperately want to advance in spiritual life, put them with the right contact. Like yesterday we were distributing books, and when some of the boys came from MIT, 3-4 boys came, so you take their contact, correct, no? Then you call them. I heard one of the boys, somebody contacted, now he has become an inmate, I heard. Who is that? What? Just see, he's a good soul. He must have done a lot of sukriti in the past lives. He's a spiritually wealthy soul. Correct? Isn't it? So he was like a dry grass purpose says, you put a spark of fire, it just picks up. Correct, no? He saw the devotees, his inner awareness is already awakened. And when he came in touch with devotees, understanding came immediately. For some people, waking up is very difficult. Like a kacha fruit, we say, some people are pakka fruit, correct, no? Pakka fruit is, it just comes out easily. Kacha fruit, very difficult. So many people, our devotees have become very daring. What's your good name, Prabhu? Yourself. Yeah. Aditya Prabhu is very bold. Anybody comes, he just puts the book. Anybody walking in the road cannot escape them. They have to stand there and speak for a few minutes. Whether they take book or not, he will make sure he connects with people. Many of our boys have become very daring book distributors now. So that is actually Lord's mercy on you, because earlier you might have been very shy, correct, no? Indian boys are generally very shy, many boys. But our devotees have become very daring now because of repeated book distribution like that. So in this way, that is why initially work on yourself, and then as you advance, you go to the 4th stage, working for Krishna and benefiting all jivas. Actually, working for Krishna means working for the benefit of the whole world. That most people don't know. Like watering the root of the tree, the root doesn't keep the water with itself. What does it do? Nourishes the whole tree. Actually, giving it to God is the best way of giving it to all. On the other hand, if you try to give it to all directly, it will not reach them many times. Like if you are pouring water in the leaves and the branches, they are not going to be nourished. Their nourishment actually comes from the root. Yeah. Similarly, imagine this hand and this hand, they say, we will not give it to belly. No, I'll give you Mysore pak, you give me laddu, we will enjoy. Can they enjoy? No. Energy cannot enjoy energy. Energy can be enjoyed by energetic. So they both give it to the belly, they get nourishment, that's how. Without serving Krishna, you cannot benefit anybody. Your benefit you are giving will be very superficial. Cannot be given. So when you become Krishna conscious, you get such a broad mindedness and broad vision. I'll tell you a real life story. I will tell you. Yesterday I was talking to His Holiness Bhakti Rasayan Sagar Maharaj, Bhakti Rasayan Sagar Maharaj. So Maharaj was telling he was going in a taxi, and the taxi was run by a driver, and he was having a Buddha statue there. And in front of the Buddha statue, he put a fresh flower. And Maharaj commented to him that, oh, you've given fresh flower to Buddha, very good. That goes to show your devotion to Buddha, he said. And the taxi driver felt very happy. He said, I thought you are a Hare Krishna, you will not like my Buddha worship. He said, no, Buddha is Krishna only. Buddha is God. He's one of the Dashavataras. He told him, we also accept Buddha. And then he told him. And then this man stopped the car after reaching there. He said, I have one difficulty. He said, many Christians have given me a lot of pamphlets. I have it with me in my taxi. And I have it for the last few weeks. I don't know what to do with that. People push me, and they have given there too many things. And Maharaj told him, not worry, nothing to worry. You go to the airport and keep it in one place. If anybody want to pick up, they can pick up and go use it. Otherwise, because if you keep it in an accessible place where people can take it, you don't want to promote it. But if you keep it, others can use it if you want. He said, that's all, very easy. So he took it all and he kept it. He was very grateful that you gave me some idea on what is to be done. So, and then he asked, you see, although I have accepted Buddha in my life, I just offer him flower, I don't know how I can advance in my spiritual life. I see that I'm Buddhist monks, I admire them, but I am a family man, I have many things to do. He said, very simple. If you want to know about Buddha, you have to hear about Buddha, hear the teachings of Buddha, associate with the saintly persons, Buddhist monks who are there, go to the matha, spend some time with them there. And then very soon you will see your attraction for Buddha will increase, he said. And the man was so grateful. And after that he said, then Maharaj asked him, how much I have to pay? He said, no, I will give you $20. He gave. So Maharaj is telling, this is not a taxi, this is transcendental taxi. Where you go in the taxi and the driver gives you money. Instead of you giving money. Amazing, no? So Maharaj said, what did I do? Because in Prabhupada's books have all this knowledge. If you do Shravanam and Kirtanam, you gain all the knowledge. That's what I told him, Maharaj said. For him, it was a very big thing. Because most other organizations, they don't have a very clear clarity on how to advance in spiritual life. Here you come, even a child will say, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Vandanam. In ISKCON, all 9 they can say. Isn't it? So, Maharaj was telling that the path of Bhakti Yoga is so amazing. In Russia, in Ukraine, when the war was happening, there were a couple of devotees. One was Madan Gopal Prabhu was one, and there was one more devotee. 2 devotees. They were cooking food for life prasad, and they were distributing. So at one point of time, the other army found out that these 2 fellows are supplying food to all the soldiers, and the soldiers get nourishment and they come and fight. So because of this, we are facing the problem. So they dropped a bomb on the top, and the 2 devotees died. And after that, the Christians, Maharaj was telling, a devotee preaches even after death also. He said, how he was explaining. And these 2 devotees belong to Hare Krishna, and Christians had some fear that Hare Krishnas will spread too fast. They'll expand too much and all. But after seeing these 2 people who died, one of them, his name was Greg, I think. So now they have published it in the school children's books now. along with their photo, that these two great souls did this service for our soldiers, and they are martyr. You know what is martyr? Martyr means one who lays down his life, for the sake of service. Yeah. So they put the photo and they have written a 2-page write-up. They were a part of Hare Krishna movement, this thing, ISKCON, and they rendered their service. And this is going to 5 million children. And this book is going to go. So he was telling these two devotees, even after their death, they are preaching Krishna consciousness, by their giving their body. And more amazing than this, what he said was, one of the local leaders told this information to His Holiness Bhakti, that Maharaj is there, no? Russian Maharaj, another Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Maharaj. And Bhaktivinoda Maharaj was approached by one millionaire devotee, a rich devotee. Maharaj, out of the two devotees, one was single and the other one was married. So his wife has 3 children who are growing children, small kids. They're small kids. So Maharaj, I have a suggestion. I have told his wife that you can go to Mayapur. She wanted to go to Mayapur and settle with the children there. I have told that we will pay the rent for the house, you have nothing to worry. And your children can study in the school there. So monetarily you don't have to worry, let them all grow up like that. And Maharaj said, that's a very wonderful service you are rendering, very nice. Maharaj said, why do you rent out a house? Why don't you give them buy and give a house to them? And the millionaire said, Maharaj, that's very easy for me. I have a lot of money, I have no problem, I can do that. That's a wonderful suggestion, he said. And then this devotee sent information to that family that yes, you not only you can go to Mayapur and take a rented house, you can settle there. Then Mataji told both of them, this is Maharaj and the devotee, no, I have changed my mind not to go to Mayapur, she said. As do I. Because my husband was doing Food for Life, now that he is not there, now I have to continue the service. So I am going to stay back in Russia only, in Ukraine only I will stay back. And I am already doing the service now, I can't leave it and go. Nobody will do it very responsibly. There are not many devotees available in Ukraine now. So with the 3 budding children, she is staying there and leading the department of Food for Life. Maharaj said when devotees heard it, many devotees cried, seeing this sacrifice of this Mataji. See, she is getting not only a rented house, she is getting a complete house and more safe place in Mayapur. She can live comfortably and the 3 children will get good education, Cambridge school there. She is sacrificing all of this just to continue her husband's service. You can see that. So that is why working for Krishna and benefiting jivas, those who do, their sacrifices you cannot understand. It's unparalleled in the entire world. So in this way, they become very, very broad-minded. Udaradi, Mahatma, we say, no? This Mahatma purpose is not just a rubber stamp. This real Mahatma is actually a pure devotee of the Lord who has such a staunch desire. Krishna says, no, yatantascha dhrudavrata. This is the example for that. Like that. So in this verse which we read today, here it says here, persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end, which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet down to lowest planet. What is that not available? This Mataji's consciousness, correct, no? That is not easily available anywhere. She is serving Krishna and the devotees with such a pure heart, with no expectation in return. She is ready to, we say, nadanam, najanam, nasundarim. Here is the example. She is ready to throw away all the comforts and luxuries and facilities that are coming without her even asking. And although she doesn't have the support of the husband, she is ready to do that sacrifice. So when one becomes a pure devotee, advanced devotees, they will have that type of consciousness. And opposite of that is those living entities who are stooped in sense gratification. So we all can check where am I in these 4 levels. Am I in the level 1 or 2 or 3 or 4? So if one has to rise above sense gratification and be at least a little selfless towards others. Begin with that and then come to the point of working on oneself, like a Sita Prajna works on oneself and becomes very disciplined in his mind and senses. The purpose of disciplining mind and senses is not that I can save myself from troubles of the world. That's not the goal. It is to engage mind and senses in Krishna's service. Shri Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki.